At 11, leaders in Troy take up a bill to crack down on negligent landlords. How one council member says it'll help clean up the city. Plus, a local father charged with raping his own young children.
And a chilly forecast, but a decent weekend.
Join us for News 10 at 11.
Live from WTEN, this is News 10 at 11 on the news station.
Showdown in St. Louis. The vice presidential candidates square off in their first and only debate before Election Day. The candidates wrapped up their debate just about a half an hour ago. 90-minute session was the first lengthy give-and-take session for Alaska Governor Sarah Palin since joining the Republican ticket. Biden, of course, participating in many of the primary debates in the Democratic primary process. Palin and Biden went head-to-head on a number of topics, including the Wall Street bailout to foreign policy, and both candidates attempting to prove that they're experienced enough to be in the White House. ABC's Alvear has a wrap-up tonight from Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri.
Tonight, Washington University in St. Louis was the site of only the 7th vice presidential debate in history, as Joe Biden and Sarah Palin each attempted to prove they're ready to lead.
In an election season marked by high drama, the vice presidential debate in St. Louis delivered its share.
The governor did not answer the question about deregulation.
I may not answer the questions the way that either the moderator or you want to hear, but I'm going to talk straight to the American people.
Candidates Joe Biden and Sarah Palin squared off for their one and only face-to-face matchup, trading sharp lines while sharing their policies.
You have to focus on homeowners and folks on Main Street.
Energy independence is the key to this nation's future, to our economic future, and to our national security.
The two faced different questions on a range of topics, from the financial crisis to foreign policy.
John McCain has been dead wrong on the fundamental issues relating to the conduct of the war.
Palin, the underdog coming into this debate, proved she could hold her own, displaying her traditional folksiness.
Say it ain't so, Joe. There you go again, pointing backwards again.
While landing a few punches.
Your plan is a white flag of surrender in Iraq.
Biden battled back with strong statements of his own.
You're going to have to replace a $12,000 plan with a $5,000 check you've just given to the insurance company. I call that the ultimate bridge to nowhere.
Just 2 debates remain, both featuring presidential candidates. Barack Obama and John McCain will meet again next Tuesday at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. Diana Alvear, ABC News, St. Louis.
Now, millions were expected to tune in tonight to watch the vice presidential candidates go toe-to-toe. Many of them, of course, here in the capital region, gathering around their own TV sets. And News 10's Demetra Ganias live right now on the campus of UAlbany tonight, where a group of students just finished watching that debate. Demetra, what's the reaction?
Well, Steve, I watched with about 50 young people, many of them college Republicans or college Democrats, and they say they're glad that rather a lot of personal attacks that the candidates stuck to the issues. College Democrats say, as expected, Senator Joe Biden came out strong on the economy and foreign policy.
Joe Biden is giving specifics, he has examples, and he knows what he's dealing with here.
He knows what he's doing when he talks about taxes and when he talks about health care. He's not just reading sound bites that he learned in the debate camp last week. This is the stuff he's lived.
One Democrat says she believes Governor Sarah Palin set the wrong tone from the onset.
Governor Palin opened up the debate with more Republican fear tactics, especially about the economy. I'm sick of the fear tactics. I need to talk about real issues.
Palin had a lot to prove, and Republican students say she definitely held her own and struck a chord with middle America and women.
She's playing that cautious, relaxed person, even when Biden's ripping her to pieces. She's also using heck of a darn and a lot of phrases that most Americans find appealing, I guess.
One Republican says that Palin looked very confident and perhaps should have taken a few more swings at her opponent.
I would like to see a little bit more aggressiveness within her, but I mean, for the most part, though, I like what I'm seeing.
And it may not come as a shock, but the students that I spoke with say they didn't leave here swayed in any way, that they're supporting the very same candidate that they were just a couple hours ago. We're live on the campus of UAlbany tonight. Demetra Ganias, News 10.
Demetra, thank you very much. And of course, we want to know what you think about tonight's debate. We put an unscientific poll on our website asking you who you believe came out on top of the big event. It's just under the initial top stories video box right there on our homepage. Just go to WTEN.com and pick the candidate candidate you think came out victorious. We're going to have the full results of the poll a little bit later on our newscast here on News 10 at 11. Well, a pretty chilly night around the capital region tonight, and it looks like it's going to stick around for a while. We're going to get our storm checker update right now from Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo. Steve.
Howdy, Steve. No doubt about it. It was a chilly day today. Actually felt like late October with that gusty wind and quite a few showers that moved through. Storm Tracker Live, high-definition Doppler radar, indicating a few showers still off to the west of Albany. Now, keep in mind, these showers basically induced by the chilly air moving over the Great Lakes. Here's a close-up view. And again, fairly quiet here. There may be a sprinkle, but most of the showers will be from Fulton and Montgomery counties westward. One shower right now west of Gloversville. Quite a few rain showers out in Utica and up in the parts of Herkimer County. So west tonight and tomorrow morning have the best chance and a few showers. All right, here's your forecast. Overnight, it's going to be on the chilly side, mid-40s, slight chance of a shower here, better chance to the west. Mix of clouds and sunshine, a windy, chilly day on Friday. Chance of a shower, a high near 60. And on Saturday, bright sunshine, a good start to the weekend, a high of 61. We'll have much more on the all-important weekend forecast and the fall foliage report later in the newscast.
In other news, dozens of cats are at the Humane Society tonight, and an area police department has wrapped up combing a Ravenna home for explosives. They spent much of this afternoon and this evening here at 23 Orchard Avenue after the Mohawk Hudson River Humane Society in Menands got a call from a Ravenna town staffer about too many cats living in the home. Not only were there 26 cats, but the owners, Mary and Rich Profirst, had collected war memorabilia dating back to World War I, and police tell us they found numerous live grenades, landmines, aerial bombs, and even one laser-guided rocket inside the house. A bomb squad was called in to remove the items, and neighboring homes were evacuated as a precaution. The Humane Society said they found one dead cat amongst the conditions there in the house, conditions they call horrendous.
There was feces covering every surface in the house. There was urine everywhere. We're not really sure how the people were living there. It just seemed like the entire house was covered in filth.
Shear says the cats were examined by a vet and are being treated at the shelter in Menands, and the Profirst may face animal cruelty charges. The couple was taken to a local hospital themselves and evaluated, then released. We're told by police that the investigation into the case still continues tonight. And this Hudson Falls man behind bars accused of sexually abusing two family members. Police say 31-year-old Rodney Garvin abused the children back in 2006 and 2007 when he lived in the village of Ravenna. They were 4 and 8 years old at the time. Garvin faces a number of charges tonight, including rape and sexual abuse. He was sent to the Albany County Correctional Facility without bail, and police say other charges could be pending in Hudson Falls. Leaders in Troy are cracking down on absentee landlords. City council members voting tonight on a registration bill that would require landlords to register their properties with the city. Also appoint property managers to live within 20 miles outside city limits. And landlords also would be required to provide detailed information about themselves and their properties. New at 11, News 10's Nicol Lally has more on how some council members say the changes will help clean up the city.
The Troy City Council voted unanimously in favor of the landlord registration bill. They're hoping it cleans up some of the neighborhoods that have been overcome by absentee landlords. Troy has about 60% rental properties. John and Dorothy Drescher sit on their stoop in front of their Jefferson Street home in Troy nearly every day.
It was quiet.
It was quiet.
It was a quiet. Everybody was friendly. Everybody.
They've lived here for 35 years and have seen many changes to the neighborhood, including a drug raid nearly 2 years ago and now a boarded-up mess as their view. Councilman Ken Zalewski is hoping houses like this one the Dreschers stare at every day are cleaned up.
We don't want to let buildings get to the point where they look like this, and then now we're talking about, well, should we demolish it? Is it possible to salvage it?
That's why he helped sponsor the bill cracking down on absentee landlords.
We think that by cracking down on the negligent landlords, that will create more interest in people who might have been hesitant in buying property because they said, oh, you know, Troy just, lets these properties, they let them go.
This building is one of many sitting vacant with the city left dealing with the problems when owners are nowhere to be found. The landlord registry will require all owners to provide contact information as well as information about their property, like the number of units, floors, and bedrooms. Council President Clem Campana says this is in no way an effort to act as Big Brother. Rather, it gives the city a way to enforce some simple guidelines for property owners.
Respect the property and maintain the property that you own. Give us a good neighborhood. We're looking to to improve the quality of life in the city, and we need good neighborhoods to do that.
This legislation is a first step toward cracking down on negligence in our neighborhoods and absentee landlords.
Mayor Tatunja now has 10 days to review the law, and he says he will most likely sign it, and it will go into effect January 1st, giving landlords 90 days to register or they will face a penalty. Reporting in Troy, Nicol Lally, News 10.
A Guilderland father apologizing tonight for abusing his 4-month-old daughter. 36-year-old Yuli Neuwirth arrested for assaulting and seriously injuring the girl. In an apology letter to his daughter obtained by News 10, Neuwirth blames work stress for the assault that left the child with 2 broken legs and brain injuries. Tonight, the baby's condition is not known. Neuwirth will now undergo a psychiatric evaluation. And a Schenectady man will now spend 20 years to life in prison in connection with a murder here in Schenectady back in 2007. 20-year-old Isaiah Waters pled guilty to the murder of 23-year-old Quan Scott back in July. Waters admitted to chasing Scott into his home on DeGraff Street in June of last year and shooting him 9 times in the back, even though Scott was not armed. That shooting followed a confrontation between the two. Leaders in the town of Colony reveal their budget tonight, and it's all bad news for taxpayers. I want to show you how much taxes could be going up in Colony. That's coming up here on the news station. Plus, the House getting set to take up a new version of the Wall Street bailout plan. We'll tell you where things stand tonight. Also, some local homes going on display while they're opening their doors to the public. But first, we want to take another live look at the high-definition Doppler radar. We had some scattered showers throughout the area all day today. Some linger into tonight. But how's Friday shaping up and into the weekend? Steve's back with the full Storm Tracker forecast here on News 10 at 11.
News 10 weather is sponsored by Here For You, home of the no out-of-pocket hearing aid for Empire enrollees, and sponsors of the Turn It Down campaign to save your hearing.
Now, your News 10 Storm Tracker forecast with Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's check our forecast first for tomorrow. Not quite as wet or quite as cold feeling as it was today, but at 7 a.m., 45, still a bit breezy, mostly cloudy skies. Can't rule out a sprinkle or shower. Now, the overcast will brighten up, so breaks of sunshine at noon and 56, and about the same at 5 p.m., 59. Now, as you head west and northwest, that is where there'll be the best chance at some scattered showers. Now, every Thursday night during the fall foliage season, we have the fall foliage report. The colors right on schedule this year, and we're getting reports of some absolutely spectacular colors. Here's our report for the upcoming weekend. Peak color up over the high peaks, Adirondacks, Central Green Mountains, some Killington, northward into the northeast kingdom of Vermont. In the foothills of the Adirondacks, southern Green Mountains, high elevations of the Catskill, another week or so, but color in those areas running 50 to as much as 75%. Want to share with you some pictures from our News 10 weather spotters. First up, Adirondack Lake. This was taken by B.J. Stewart this afternoon, who lives in Indian Lake. Check out the rainbow. Pretty nice, huh? And a couple of shots from Essex County. This shot near Sable Forks, Tom Nadler, a couple of days ago. Spectacular fall colors on this hillside. And one more picture from the Ausable area. And again, you can see these bright reds and oranges with those beautiful yellows interspersed. It just makes for a beautiful scene. So with the weather cooperating, should be a pretty nice weekend. One more shot. I got to show you this. Late this afternoon, a shower came through the Schoharie Valley. Is that a great rainbow or what? This is in Middleburg. Weather watcher Candy Hakes captured that picture when that shower went on by. Temperatures right now on the cool side, 45 at Glens Falls, mid-40s Bennington, North Adams, Pittsfield down to 43, 43 at Rutland. And out to the west, more clouds and showers and temperatures in the upper 40s. Here's the 300-mile temperatures this evening, and readings again mostly in the 40s. This is where we find most of the showers. 58 New York City, and Boston's temperature at 51. Here's our satellite and Doppler radar. Notice with that cool air over the lakes, a large concentrated area of lake effect showers. It is raining heavily up in the Tug Hill and out near Buffalo, the hills south of Buffalo. Typical lake effect. If this was the winter, guess what? We'd be talking about snow. Few showers right now off to the north and west of Albany. This is interference on the radar. So again, this is where the nearest showers are, off to our north and west. So our futurecast, Friday morning, Most of the showers and sprinkles north and west of Albany, up over the western Adirondacks. Mostly cloudy, breezy, a few breaks of sunshine in the Hudson Valley. Then skies clear out just in time for the weekend. Perfect timing here. If you got plans, it's going to be a good weekend for outdoor activities, and that should continue right into Saturday afternoon. All right, your forecast for the Hudson Valley, we expect temperatures to be near 60 in Albany. For a high temperature, Hudson at 62, Kingston 63. And for western New England, clouds, it might be a shower. Upper 50s around North Adams, Pittsfield 57, Manchester 57. Up in the North Country, clouds, a little bit of sun, but also a few showers. 49 at Indian Lake to 57 at Glens Falls. Mohawk Valley and the Catskills, mid-50s. Few clouds, could be a shower. And here's your forecast for Albany tonight. Scattered showers, west, mid-40s. And for tomorrow, we expect a mix of clouds and sun, a windy, chilly day, a high near 60 with a chance of a scattered shower, no washout. Nice weekend, near 60 both days. Showers possible Monday, and then another round of dry weather and milder weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
All in all, not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Good weekend.
That it is. All right. Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Lawmakers in Washington, they are lobbying hard tonight in hopes the House will pass the newest version of a Wall Street bailout. We're going to take a look at where the efforts are going right now. Plus, we may soon know if a plane found wrecked in the mountains of California belonged to that of adventurer Steve Fawcett. We'll explain after the break.
You're watching News 10 at 11 on the news station.
Homeowners in Colony can expect higher taxes next year. The town has an estimated $20 million deficit, and tonight the town released a preliminary 2009 budget that calls for a 3% tax increase for residential properties. That's in addition to a one-time tax that Supervisor Paula Mahan has been pushing to go directly towards the debt. Now, the average homeowner would pay $140 in that one-time tax. But some good news for commercial property owners. Their taxes would go down a hefty 33%. Republicans say they're pleased with the 3% increase, but they're still against that one-time tax.
I want to look at real hard at the one-time tax, and I still firmly believe that it's not needed.
We either had some method of correcting and stabilizing to get us on our feet, or basically we were going to go under.
A public hearing on the budget is set for 2 weeks from tonight. Well, it's still up in the air tonight if the House will vote tomorrow on the Senate's version of the Wall Street bailout package. Leaders of both parties say there's a good chance they'll pick up the 12 votes they need to pass it this time, but the Democrats say they will not bring it to the floor unless they're pretty confident. However, some Republicans who voted yes on Monday appear less likely to do so now, saying the $700 billion plan worked out in the Senate is a rush to judgment with added tax cuts for things like motorsports racetrack properties.
Bill deserves to be a clean bill, and votes shouldn't have been purchased with pork.
I would like to tell you that I have some secret knowledge of a vast store of votes that we can put on the table on Friday. I don't have that secret knowledge.
President Bush has been personally calling representatives to lobby on behalf of the bill. New York Governor David Paterson planning to meet with legislative leaders tomorrow in Manhattan to plan more state spending cuts. These come as leaders project a loss of billions of dollars in tax revenue due to the meltdown on Wall Street. Meantime, a Siena College poll finds that 85% of New York voters feel the state's financial situation poses a serious threat to their households. Federal investigators say they found body parts amid the wreckage of missing adventurer Steve Fawcett's plane. The National Transportation Safety Board has not yet said what searchers found, but do say there's enough evidence to provide DNA for coroners. Fawcett, who was 63, vanished a little more than a year ago. The debris of his single-engine plane spotted from the air yesterday in Mammoth Lakes, California. Investigators say the plane slammed straight into the mountainside. Coming up here on News 10, we're going to have your lottery drawing, plus the high school football season, of course, in full swing. We're going to have a preview of one of tomorrow night's big games. But first, a look at tonight's closing numbers on Wall Street. The Dow took another big hit today, down nearly 350 points. The Nasdaq down nearly 93. We'll be right back.
Good
Racing, I'm Gretchen Deiser. Welcome to Thursday, October 2nd, Take 5 drawing being observed by an auditor from KPMG. Tonight's winning Take 5 numbers are 9, 30, 23, 25, and 1. Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $42 million. Have a great night.
News 10 is brought to you by Taft Furniture. The big markdown tags have been left in place. It's Taft's big markdown sale. Save up to 20, 30, even 50% off Taft's guaranteed low ticketed prices this weekend only.
After finishing second to last in the Eastern Conference last season and missing out on the playoffs for the 6th time in the past 7 years, optimists may say there's nowhere for the Knicks to go but up. Time will tell, of course. The NBA club could be making its first step towards a turnaround this week in Saratoga. The Knicks halfway through their inaugural preseason training camp at Skidmore College. The team finished up its 5th out of 9 practices in the Spa City this afternoon. Now, the demands of camp taking its toll on some of the Knicks, like 38-year-old Allen Houston. The veteran's trying to make a comeback with New York, but he set out drills today due to soreness. However, he says he's feeling good about the Knicks' progress at camp.
It's exciting to be able to go through it. You know, I went through 2 days of two-a-days, which I really didn't expect to be able to do. And but the guys are just having a good time. I'm enjoying being around here, watching everybody get better.
The people that are new kind of brought a new energy. And I think whenever you have disappointing situations like we've had the last 2 years, you need a new energy to come in and kind of introduce enthusiasm to your program. We've had them here.
See how they do. Well, the high school football regular season is rounded the far turn, and the races to make the postseason continue to heat up. It's already week 5, believe it or not. Just 3 more weeks until the Section 2 playoffs begin. And so far, the Burnt Hills Spartans have created the biggest buzz in Section 2. Even New York State has taken notice. Unbeaten Burnt Hills now ranked 4th in the state in Class A after 4 dominant victories in its first 4 games. The Spartans have outscored their opponents by an average of over 45 points per game. Burnt Hills hard at work at practice this afternoon, gearing up for Saturday's matchup with Glens Falls.
I'm never satisfied. Our coaches are never satisfied, and I think the kids aren't. You know, they know that there's, you know, a game this week. It's a big game. It's a week 5 game. You know, they know the season goes by fast. There's not a lot of games to play, and they know that every game is very, very important.
News 10 will have more on the Burnt Hills Spartans tomorrow on News 10 at 6, then later at 11:15, where it's time for First and 10, your one-stop shop for all your high school football highlights. Jamie Save will bring you action from about a dozen games. So check out News 10's First and 10 tomorrow night, beginning right around 11:15. Well, he may have won Dancing with the Stars, but tonight, race car driver Helio Castroneves has nothing to dance about. The 2-time Indianapolis 500 winner was indicted today on charges of tax evasion and tax fraud charges. According to court documents, Castroneves failed to report $5.5 million in income to the IRS between 1999 and 2004. His sister and attorney are also facing charges, and all 3 will be in court tomorrow. Again, a reminder to vote in our News 10 web poll who you think won the vice presidential debate tonight, Sarah Palin or Joe Biden. It's located right there on our homepage. We'll have results coming up in just a few minutes. You're watching the news station.